Hi, Naomi.
Hi, Lucas.
My name is Elijah Brown.
My name is Zachary Ross.
My name is Reese Miles.
My name is Brandon Bradley.
My name is Faiza. I'm a junior at Lake Mary High School.
Actually learned about different countries who have different opinions.
Seriously, being at South Seminole and being supported by such loving and genuine staff has made me who I am today. Because whenever I'm am I really making an impact, or am I really doing what I want to do in this world? And I always think back to especially the staff and teachers at South Seminole that have made such genuine effort into seeing me do that. And that's what really motivates me to keep on going.
I honestly believe that the number one thing it contributed to me was changing my attitude towards, I guess, life in general, and changing how I perceive myself, growing more self-confidence. I feel like leading tours. I was also the student ambassador when I was in South Seminole, so I led a lot of the tours. I spoke a lot. Definitely brought me out of my comfort zone, but I'm glad to have had a foundation a little bit in 5th grade, and I love talking. Personally, I love talking, so it kind of fostered my love for interaction with other people.
This year's Principal Award recipient, Naomi Flowers.
There's a wealth of opportunity at South Seminole, not just with the events that the school hosts, and it's also with the admin and the teachers and just the staff in general. Everyone is so passionate about making students better and giving them the chance to really explore who they are, especially as, teenagers going through middle school. It's really tough to know who we are, but I think I realized in my time at South Seminole that I don't have to figure that out just yet, and that there's always, this beautiful thing called opportunity and so many chances to try out different things. And that's really what South Seminole offered to me that has been unparalleled.
I feel a little old, but Miss Yoka, Mr. Best, and Dr. Baker and Miss Reed, working closely with them, they just taught me how to be an example, being proactive and just thinking with the winning in mind. I just feel like working with them and just taught me how to be an example and a better leader.
If you could share one experience of SSA that made you personally a better leader?
I can honestly say, I think staying on your toes and being proactive. I think every time you turned around, there was an event. There was something we had to get prepared for. So it taught me to be prepared for anything. If something would have happened on the day of the event, how could you accommodate and adjust if something would have happened on the day of the event? So I think one of my experiences is just the leadership day, where all of the teachers and the principals and the admin come and meet the leadership hall. That's nerve-wracking. You meet people you don't even know, and as an 8th grade, I was an 8th grade. I'm already nerve-wracking because that's all the big leagues talking, and just being at the event is she just taught me, no matter what, give it your best and just be prepared. So
Good morning, everyone. I'm Reese Miles. Today is Friday, September 23rd, 2016.
Doing the news when things are kind of chaotic, that actually was a good stepping stone in my life because you have the prompter in front of it. And Lucas, you know this, you were at Arts Alive and you did such a great job there, and you did all of that on the fly. So you totally know what I'm talking about. But just having to read a prompter and then, of course, something goes wrong. And it's okay, you have to know what you're talking about. And when you do the news every single day, you kind of have that getting into the rhythm of things. And sometimes you have the capability to actually talk about a subject enough in order to, do the news about it. And that was really such a fun point in my life because there was a lot of other people who, they didn't necessarily anchor, but there was just a lot of people, and we all put the news on every day, and there's just a little bunch of us, and we did our best. And I think it was just a lot of fun and a little stressful at times, but it really was almost like an improv class every single day going there. So it was great.
And I think that you guys probably would all agree that those are some of the most foundational years, just trying to figure out who you are. And so looking back, I think learning the 7 habits, being a part of that foundation, it kind of became ingrained as a part of who I am. And so one that I always think about is begin with the end in mind. It's kind of an everyday thing for me where I have to kind of even scale back at times because I'm always thinking about the next step and planning and trying to have a vision for where I'm trying to go next. But I think that the key thing for me at South Seminole, unfortunately, we did not have student ambassadors yet. But I was able to be put in positions that have now, even as an adult, played over in my life. So like, I remember when I was at South Seminole, we had, I don't know if this is still a thing, but like you could be an assistant to a different place in school as an elective. So one of my electives was I worked in the media center with Miss Medlin. I'm not sure if Miss Medlin's still there, but I worked in the media center with Miss Medlin for 2 school years. And now I'm literally a media specialist. Like I was in that position and it ended up being how I started my career. But even now as a writer who is pursuing a career in writing, I had the opportunity at South Seminole to be editor-in-chief of the yearbook. I was editor-in-chief of our journalism class. So it just really put me in position of leadership that just started giving me skills that down the line, even now into my adult life and starting my career, I'm still holding on to those skills.
So one experience that I was actually thinking about was to prepare for our Ron Clark experience. So I know, Lucas, you know a lot about this as well.
Yes.
Yeah, so we focused on communication skills, mannerism, etiquette skills, and we just had so much practice that I was able to incorporate what we learned in our middle school, not only at the competition, but I use it in my everyday life now. So I think that experience had a really big impact on me, as well as every experience that I experienced there.
And I expected great things out of that, but not anywhere close to what actually happened, which is how much I changed as a person, on the inside. And one cool event that they did with all their little challenges, as you know, is that they staged this thing where another participant of the competition was having some sort of panic attack over it because she was nervous. I remember everyone was kind of ignoring her and they kept on listening to, the adult that was giving us these fake instructions of what the challenge was supposed to look like it was. And then I went over and helped the girl just because I knew that I valued helping this girl out over whatever they were telling me. And that actually had me win that part of the competition, without realizing that it was all staged. So that was something really, really cool that gave me confidence in myself to just do what I think is right and not just what might make me look good or what I think might make me look good. As some of the other students maybe had been thinking that they needed to do, that they needed to follow instructions. Rules are here for a reason and they are important, but sometimes it's important to just follow your heart, and that might end up being better in the long run.
When I moved on to middle school, Miss Reed actually had me in charge of some tours during our leadership day in 6th grade. And I didn't think much of it until I saw the leadership hall full of important looking dressed up people. I was like scared out of my soul. I was so frightened. But them kind of hyping me up at the end and saying how good of a public speaker I was and how amazing it was that I was so, I guess, well-spoken for someone my age. I was probably 12 at the time. I don't know how you are in 6th grade, but I was really young, and I had that feeling now that maybe they were just hyping me up because I was young. I was just a little kid who could speak a lot. But even now, my public speaking skill, when I speak in front of people, even as a high schooler who's expected to speak, I feel as if I still reap the benefits of being able to speak my mind and being able to say what I want to say instead of hiding behind a wall, I guess, of being scared to say what's on my mind. That can just go for life in general, just saying what I want to say and being more in charge of myself.
I would say just kind of going to a school where they talk about the 7 habits a lot.
Sitting in my 6th grade class, reading the 7 habits book, and I was like, these are great habits.
Seek first to understand, then be understood. That one's my favorite. You hear things like that when you're in middle school and you're like, oh, okay. But then you kind of, first of all, it gets drilled in your head. And then second of all, you get down the line, you're like, wait a minute, that was actually a helpful tip. I think I'm going to keep that in my mind from now on.
And I'm just taking it in, but now I realize that every single day, I subconsciously implement these habits into my daily life. So, for example, being proactive, putting first things first, getting my homework done, but then also having fun, keeping a balance. So every single day, I know that I implement these habits into my daily life, and that has helped me to be where I am today.